All right, Saturday. Hello, everyone. It's Modified Darvas Box MDB, and it's time for another weekend review. I've done my chores, got everything done. It's what time? It's almost 12 noon. I'm going to do this video, then I'm going to have a late lunch. But I hope you guys had a good week. We've had a hell of a wild week because, man, we got the signal last week in the indexes, and lo and behold, they all triggered. And now we got a completely different, much tougher market going on this week. And what's really cool is we're able to see the changes last week, meaning seeing the signals, and then be sort of prepared, mentally prepared this week for it. Imagine everybody who was just mega bullish and getting shocked at what's happened in like tech and stuff like that. And there's a lot of money being thrown around because hey, the conditions are changing. So as traders, we gotta roll with the punches, and we'll look at the charts and see what they're telling us, so we can figure out what to do next. And for people who have been long for a long time and have a lot of money, a lot of profits built up, it's probably going to be a much easier decisions as to what to do because you don't have to knee-jerk reaction. It's people who bought like the last 2 weeks, last week, whatever, last 3 weeks. They're the ones who are screwed and need to change fast. So, anyways, it's like Clint Eastwood and Heartbreak Ridge: adapt, improvise, overcome. So let's get into the charts. For anybody who's never watched one of my videos, I'm an independent trader investor. I placed my first trade in 1995, so I'm older. I've seen a lot in the markets, and I've developed my own, unique trading system. And it's based on the book How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market. And I've constantly experimenting and adding new things, and I added elements from the strategy as well. Basically, try stuff. If it works, keep it. If it doesn't work, throw it away. And you'll develop your own system and your own voice for doing this stuff. The general theme, which I tell the people, is just be consistent, repeatable, and consistent on every time frame you look at. Look at the charts the same way. And people have sent me notes saying one thing they appreciate about these videos is I look at charts the same way every time. Every weekend, the same way, the same rules, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, 65-minute, 130-minute, don't matter. I look at it all the same way. So let's get into it. Uh, I've got 6 lists, which I put stocks on, and we're only going to look at the 4 because we're going to look at what's triggered, not just various stuff, and what's giving us signals. And I think you're going to be expecting a lot of bearish signals. There are, but there are some bullish signals too, which sort of surprising to me as well. But this one, the index list, is what we'll look at first. And on my charts, I've got different colorings, as you can see, and the colors all mean something. Like these light gray colors mean inside bars. Inside bars are where the bar was inside the prior bar. And inside bars are 50-50 propositions. They are tradable, and you can figure out, well, an inside signal, and then what's the reaction to it, and maybe you'll buy the reaction or sell the reaction. And that's a valid trading signal. It's 10 times better than moving averages. What do I do when it hits the moving average? Do I buy or I sell? I don't know. This gives you directionality. And personally, I think moving averages are useless. I think they're just good for illustrating broad trends, but beyond that, I wouldn't use them. But 99% of people do, so I guess they might be important. But I don't use them. I reject them. But either way, there are different colorings on future charts. You'll see a lot more colorings, but they all mean something. So on this one, the AMZ, you can see nice uptrend, and look, a box breakout right here, and it's going higher. Oop, let's change that. It's going higher, and oil and gas going higher. These pay dividends, and I own some of these in my dividend accounts, and I love it when it's going up and still paying income. Okay, RK, This one's the great one for all the colors to emphasize. Otherwise, I don't recommend ARC. Kathy Wood has jumped the shark a long time ago. And but you see, great example, yellow bar buy signal. That's a bullish sign. Blue bar signals, which are bullish, but it tends to mean excess enthusiasm. Many times they have a pullback week after, but not always because it's the market. Pink bars, same as blue, except with a bearish tilt. These orange ones are hammers and shooters. So you can see how I interpret the chart based on the colors. All I can do is look at the colors at a glance and have an idea what it's telling us. Right here it's telling us, whoa, that's potentially bearish signal. That's called a shooter bar or an inverse hammer or maybe a shooting star. And there's your trigger line. If it pulls back down, well, sell it and or short it if you want to short it. And that's a valid signal. The market's talking to us. It's up to us to listen. All right, oil, approximation for oil, sideways. You'd think oil's going up based on the AMZ. Nah, not that I can tell. But then again, this is just a proxy. This is BZJ, so best I can come up with. NASDAQ, okay. Here's the big turn. So we got the signal right there. That is what? We just talked about it, a shooter bar, and there's your trigger line. Now, if you're really bearish because of other reasons, yeah, you were selling, you were blowing out right there. If you're a much more long-termer and you bought way back here, well, maybe you're like, okay, well, maybe let's see what happens. But this is a valid signal, and that's a valid trigger. So I would take it seriously. We've had a wonderful uptrend since November, all the way back here. We've gone all the way this whole way. We had a great uptrend here. We got a pink bar signal. Things start going sideways. And then it reloaded right here. We get long again, and it had another great run. So everybody crying about this awful pullback, come on, you've made a ton of money. And now here's a signal which says time to step off. And who knows? Maybe it turns around and starts going up again. Although the volume here, I think I would doubt it. I think it's going more back down into the 17,000 ranges. But we'll see. One day at a time. But the signal is, quote, in force. It's in force. It's a valid signal. The trend is now in force. The trend is shifted. Lower your expectations. Ethereum sideways. But it's got some potential here, but not doing anything. And basically, we're looking for the big signals. This here, FFTY, big proxy for growth. And that's a big pink bar signal. And look at that, one here, one here. I think this one's trying to tell us something, huh? What do you think? Yeah, I think so. Here. What it's saying is, yeah, guys, I don't know about growth. I don't know here. And boy, now it's really yelling at us. So growth stocks, lower your expectations. China, it comes from China. Box breakdown right here on the mini box. The big box is still in effect, but yeah, who cares about China? But down, they got their own problems. But down there, Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin, look at that. I was a buyer here, and I explained why and posted it on Twitter. And we had a scary few minutes on an open right there in the low. And otherwise, looking like a great trade. Bought here, sold here, missed this little run, then it went sideways. But again, there's no volume in here. GBTC is my proxy for Bitcoin. No signals, no big volume, just consolidating. So yeah, there's your perfect setup right there, an undercut and reclaim. Boom. Easy peasy. Ari Gold couldn't have scripted it any better. Let's see. Speaking of gold, it had the box breakout last week, but that's a shooter bar this week. Yeah, that might be telling us that gold isn't necessarily the right asset going forward for this environment. High yield bonds were going higher, which made me think the economy was getting better. Now, it turns out I think my thesis why they went up sounds about right. They went up because investors were saying if the Fed cuts, we're going to get lower junk bond yields, so buy them all now to get the higher yields before they all turn down. And maybe that's what happened. And look at that. Now there's a bearish bar. Now here's the thing. That's just a signal. We trade off the reaction to the signals. This is why you could be a weekend trader. You can do all your analysis on the weekends and be prepared for next week. The money is made when you do your analysis at night or on the weekends. So if it opens higher and trades higher up here, don't sell it. Keep it. If it breaks that, cracks it in any meaningful way, sell it and reduce your damage. But you wait for the signal. You got the signal, which tells you to get ready, and then the reaction is how you trade. But you're prepared. You probably think, well, I'll do this if it does that, and I'll do that if it does this. That makes trading so much easier. Let's see, what's this? IGV, yeah, breakout here on low volume, and it's pulling back on bigger volume, but this was super positive for back in here. I bet that's CrowdStrike and all those losers right here. But inside bar with a bullish reaction, yellow bar buy signal. I mean, you could have sold it in here, but there's no signal to sell unless you went down on like daily or something and saw something there. On this one, you just ride the pullback. You may have to sell because it comes back to your cost, but it's not screaming at you, get out. Maybe the red volume might be. But again, this is all interpretation. You got to interpret what's going on and then figure it out. This is the surprising one, housing. Boy, do I look stupid. I kept thinking housing was going down. Who can afford a house with these interest rates? Well, if the Fed cuts interest rates, then a lot more people will be able to afford a house. Or at least that's what the market thinks. And the market may be right on this because look at that. Look at that reaction. Big yellow bar buy signal with another followed up strong bull signal, almost a breakout. Damn, everybody wants to buy a house. Well, yeah, I was wrong. But here's the thing. I could be wrong. Did I lose a lot of money or anything? Nope. I still made money on it. Did I make a ton of money? No. But I've still made money. Don't lose money. If there's any theme here, do whatever you want with charts. Don't lose money. That's the whole thing. And you don't lose money when you avoid bad situations. You make money when you get in flow with the market and you buy what the signals are telling you. Here's the buy signal right here. Everybody jumped into IWC, but whoa, hold, not so fast. Shooter bar. We're going to see a lot of these. So be prepared. Maybe this trade is dead on arrival, or maybe it's going to continue going up. We don't know. But there's been a lot of action. Look at that. Look at that volume bar. Huge volume. So we'll see what happens. Keep an eye on that. You can set alerts. I set alerts all the time. Tell me if that breaks it. Here we go. IWM, same thing. A lot of shooter bars, like I told you. Box breakout here. And then the IWM here. It's given the big signal. And we'll see what happens with it. See what happens next week. Is it going to keep going up or not? But you shouldn't be frightened of this situation. Calm, cool, collected. You know exactly what's going to happen. It's either going to go down and trigger down in force, and maybe you crack the top of the box and go back into the box range, where at that point just more sideways. Or it might actually be bullish and keep going up. I don't know. When I don't know, I say I don't know. And it's best if you say I don't know, because most people on Twitter never say I don't know. They always think they have the reason. Me? I don't know. Let's see here. IWH, healthcare. Perk Obama messed healthcare up forever for all of us, but you know what? You want to get even? Buy the stock or buy the ETF. Box breakout, some volatility, but looks like it's still going up. Let's see. United Healthcare. what is that? UNH? Yeah. The biggest insurer in the country. Yeah. Oh yeah. They're like they're not making money. Please, look at that. This was what I think this was the biggest beneficiary to the change of Obamacare. Look at that trend. Sheesh. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Remember, the government is not your friend. Transports. All right. This is interesting. It was threatening down here. Look at all these colors. But green volume. They were buying. And they were defending this lower box edge zone area. And now that it's moved up, oh, a shooter bar, but it's also a bullish yellow bar. This is trying to make up its mind. Are we bullish or are we bearish? I'm skeptical. I think this could be bearish, but I don't know. Well, we got to see. We need the market to tell us. So we'll keep an eye on that. Fizz, gold. I own this one. And look, I'm being put to a decision here. What do I do? Do I buy or I sell? I have a hunch I'll be selling. And it probably will trigger on Monday. But I'm prepared. I know what's going to happen. I'll sell roughly around in here in the 18s. I bought at 16. Not a huge gain, but percentage-wise, it's a win. Making money. QQQs, it's funny, no signal here, no color change. I have them coded into the bars, so yeah, I guess it didn't meet the threshold, but still matches the NASDAQ down. It's so amusing that people are looking for support and bounce levels. Are you kidding? The first bounce level is probably down in here, in my opinion, but I don't know. I could be wrong. NASDAQ equal weighted. Yeah. Oh, pink bar could be negative. This is an ETF, so there's actually buying and selling. But again, approaching this the same way. You know, equal weighted. The whole market took a punch in the face. RSP had a breakout earlier this week, which I posted, and then ended up being going back in, and that's kind of negative looking. Volume bigger than the breakout volume. Eeks, they were selling. They're selling, Mortimer. That can't be right. Yeah, it is right. So, not a box breakout on the equal weighted. The market took some punches to the face here. Short-term rates, yeah, going higher. No real structure, but going higher it looks like. And that's big institutional money going for the exits. Let's see. Semiconductors. Oh, look at that. A signal right there. And a violent reaction to that signal. When you back it up to last week, did you expect it to be like doink like that? I sure didn't, but this rally was long in the tooth. Started here, kept going, and then, kept going. It's ripe for a pullback. It signaled here. It didn't really do anything. So then it signals again the second time. Yeah, that's the money one. S&P 500, pink bar. That means pay attention with a bearish tilt. Pay attention. So probably down, but again, we don't know. We will find out next week. My guess is down, but the market will tell us. But probably down. SPY confirming. Sometimes the index and the SPY don't confirm, but I love it when the SPYs show the exact same thing. Again, it shows it's in harmony. Sentiment. This one hit a high. And yeah, what happens when you hit a high? Whoomp, drops like a rock. T2107, this is the 200-day. Look at that. Still 60% of stocks above the 200-day moving average, so that's not bad. There we go. Now we can see that a little better. Let's change it to monthly. Still fairly bullish, but get into stocks above the 40-day. And that, shooter bar right there. But it's still a huge, it was down in the 30s. up to here. So yeah, a little retracement, digestion, whatever you want to call it. In sentiment, the tan. This happens on signals. Get the bullish signal followed by an immediate bearish signal. It's like this one says, hey, we're bullish, we're rocking. And this one says, absolutely not. Nope, we're not having that. Nope, nope, nope. And at least you get fast feedback. If it's not going to work, I want to know right away. And the tan generally sucks. And and solar, no, not solar, wind power. Yeah, the wind power fields are such a flop. They're now breaking and washing up on the shores in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and destroying the beaches and everything like that. Just stick with natural gas. It's the best. Nuclear is the ultimate solution. TLT. Somebody asked for TLT analysis, so let's look here. Going sideways in a box. We're having a lot of cross currents. They're trying to figure out should we be in longer term bonds or not. This and this both are saying no, we shouldn't. But there are some buyers who are like, no, I want to be in that. I expect this will get resolved pretty soon. And it might go up because people might flee to the bond market. Although U.S. government debt they're so in debt, it's like a Banana Republic debt, to be honest. Monthly, oh yeah, let's go to the monthly. I've got a separate tab. Monthly is a sideways box. So yeah, no real resolution on monthly there. Anything on quarterly? Quarterly is a giant box here, but it's bumping along the bottoms. So not much direction. The market's not giving us a lot of direction on TLT. Mostly sideways. The VIX, look at that. Boink. I had mentioned the VIX earlier in the month, that a monthly inside bar had shown up. And look at that reaction. The month isn't even over yet. This is the setup. And I mentioned that people should buy VIX options if they were there, and that's a winning bull trade at the moment. And notice here, it went all this way. We had one signal here, we had one signal here, all this way with very few signals. But you see, signals are signals. And now we got a bullish reaction to it. And yeah, and the market's getting tougher. This one, nothing going on. XA housing, we already know from the other one. It went super bullish, box breakout. So I guess everybody's going to run out and buy a house. Do it for the economy, buy two. Help the nation. Instead of one house, buy two houses. XLE, energy, yeah, going up, nothing crazy. Finance, up, but again, shooter bar. Well, we'll see what happens on that one. But a breakout, bullish, so we'll see. Okay, now into the list 2, the best of the best breakout leaders. The list is getting small. ANET, still a box breakout, still an uptrend, but nasty drop. But volume's low. So if you're a long-term holder, would you be bailing on this? You could still hold this with no problems. You just chalk it up to a bad week. But short-term traders who bought in here, yeah, you're screwed. So you got to evaluate this on multiple time frames. On a monthly time frame, that looks fantastic. Evaluate the signals. This little guy I own, I'm long, still a breakout. Still, doing fine on that. Berkshire, Warren, box breakout. Warren Buffett just gets richer and richer. Signal, but this is still good because this represents a lot of mainstream America. And, Main Street's finally getting a little love. This one's your Coors. I own this. I bought it here. Box breakout by the narrowest of margins, but still positive, bullish. Carvana, I own this one. Bullish, but man, it's been struggling up in here. But still pointed higher, but you know, I got to be on my toes here. I've got alert set all in here. I might just have to punch out. If I do have to punch out, well, I'm making sure I walk away with something in my pocket. Like $1 up above my cost. DHI, here you go. 2-for-1 housing. Don't buy one, buy two. But huge box breakout. This one, Ford Motor Company, box breakout here. Because interest rates go down, make it cheaper to buy cars. But again, it might be a little ahead of itself because look at the volume. People who know it were like, no, not. That's a little high for now, but we'll see what happens. Lots of shooter bars, which we need to see how they resolve next week. Hood keeps going a little higher. This one, Jamia box breakout, but this is giving me a warning signal. The warning signal is this big red volume right here. When you get big enthusiastic green bar followed by a big red bar, that means that, yeah, for all the progress it made here, people in the know, instead of filling out more buy tickets and buying more, they were hustling to the brokers filling out sell tickets. Now, thankfully, it didn't come down a ton, but we need to be on our toes here because it means more sellers showed up. And look, they haven't really shown up anywhere in here. So I'm on my guard. I've got alerts set for the low here. I've got different ladders of alerts. But again, it's trading. I put money at risk. I am not going to lose money on this one unless something crazy happens. If I have to walk away, I'm walking away with something in my pocket. But so far, this looks okay. This is just a warning signal right there. Morgan, still going up. My dad's happy. LMT, someone in my comments wanted to look at LMT. Guess what? LMT is a Darvas box breakout right there. Above average volume. Looks okay. With the state of defense hardware and how easily the Russians are blowing away our equipment, I'd say they're going to get some new contracts. So it looks generally okay, but you see how sloppy this is? Many times better to go to the monthly chart. The monthly chart here is a lot more tame. Fewer signals, but still building to a box breakout. Watch that 486 level. I do not own it, but I'm just keeping it and keeping an eye on it. Oracle, still looking great. If you're a late buyer anywhere here, you're probably getting a little nervous. But otherwise, it still looks fabulous. But all these buyers, if you chased it, well, you really haven't made a dime. But that's not my problem. That's not your problem either. What do we got here? Oh, the poet. Goalpost volume right here. Big green. Although again, I don't like the big red and red, but it's hanging in there. I'm long right here, just a little below $3. We'll see what happens. Got the shooter bar. By now, I think you're seeing the theme here of the shooter bar. That again and again, it's showing up. It shows you how the first part of the week was very bullish, and then whoops, things happened that made it bearish. And everybody who bought in there got shaken baked. But whether it's going to stick or whether things continue is what's going to be decided next week. Rivian, here's that big box breakout. If you missed the first opportunity, you had a second opportunity right there. But, we'll see. No position. Tesla, the big breakout here, volume with some selling. If you're long, you still should feel confident if you're long anywhere below 230. It's the people who 230 to 270 that are struggling. But this looks okay to me. Although, granted, did I expect these two big red cells? No. When you had the first breakout, it was like, oh baby, look at that. And then the next bar, let's see if I can do this. The next one was like, ooh, red, look at that. And that's just a signal, a warning. Put some triggers along this bottom area here. Don't lose money. And now it opened up higher here, traded all higher, still above these areas, but now you got to be on guard. Don't lose money. But still bullish, positive overall. Venom, look at that. The income, oil and gas income plays are just doing amazing. I own this one in my income account as well. It's just fabulous. But you got to learn how to sit and just sit, and you're looking to cash the income checks. You're not looking to trade it. But that's surprising. Walmart doing great. Is inflation going down? These guys have been crushing it with inflation. So I don't know if inflation's really coming down, but who knows. This little guy here, box breakout, but still doing okay. So, but that's what I got on the list of that for the leaders. Bullish signals. These are bullish signals that have triggered or are in force and haven't done anything to remove it or given me a reason to remove it from this list. Normally, I would remove it if it had 2 straight weeks down. 1, 2. Because at that point, you don't know what it's going to do. Apple. There's your signals right in here. Well, let's back up. You first had the bearish signal right here with a shooter bar, and it went down. I tried shorting it. I made a few dollars. Nothing I'll retire on, but made a few. And then it all turned right here, and it's been a great trade, but now it's getting a little interesting. But it's still bullish as far as the charts are concerned. Don't overthink this. ARM still going up. I tried shorting it all in here. I made a few dollars, and no real signals. But and look, volume was low on this, so ARM might do sideways stuff, but it's still positive, but getting a little tougher. This one, the blonde, I own some of this. I had pointed out a month ago that this was a big bullish signal. Now, it's more like a very broad signal, like it's not a fine-tuned, precise signal, but something to put this on your radar. When the Fed messes with rates, because I know what this company is, I know what it does, mortgage software. Duh, if everybody thinks people are going to buy houses, they're going to need mortgages, right? The trade's a layup. After knowing about this huge, the supply and demand shift here, piece of cake to just buy some in here. My cost is $242, and look at that. It's already up on a tiny little stock. How much is it up? 42 to that. That's 90 cents on a $2.40 stock. That's 30%, 40%. Yeah, so I'm up 40% on a little guy in 2 weeks. Who needs options? Options are so much harder, in my opinion. But go up 40% on, let's say, ARM or coin, that's a whole different proposition. So I'll take the blondes. Give me the blondes. And so far, that's a box breakout, but volume's low, so I can't get too excited. Maybe it comes back down. Maybe it builds. I don't know. But I like it. Great spot for a potential long-term hold. Coin. This is one which somebody requested. I was going to talk about it anyways. Huge reversal. You had 2 signals. It's in a sideways box. Signal here with a bias down. It went there. And now you had another signal here. And this time it's got a bullish resolution. So if you are aware of this, you would have been buying, and you love coin, you would have been buying right on the gap. Just get me in, baby. Get me in. But I didn't do it just because I've got Bitcoin already. So, but that's the take on coin. It's been going sideways for a while, but you just had a tradable signal last week. You should be long. And now it's building for a possible box breakout. How does this look on the monthly? Monthly, building boxes. See, it's building towards a box breakout. You got two potential big levels here at the 265s or whatever. If you haven't bought it now, you better be thinking about buying it. 265, that's 263, 264. Those are your levels. Set your triggers, your alerts. That's where you want your eyeballs glued to. I may have to buy some. When things converge on multiple time frames, that means you got something valid going on. Geo moving higher. Look at that. Looks great. GH, I bought some of this. Box breakout, but volume's low, so I may have to... Look at that. Look how many tries I've made. This may be... I'm hoping this was the last try, but, you know, got to be prepared for if it goes down. But hopefully it doesn't. Google, keeping going up. And, Google's had 2 straight down weeks. This one should come off this list. I'll put it on watching list. No signals, but it's slowing down. Steel, bullish, bearish, and now back to slightly bullish, but a shooter bar, and back to, I don't know. Who said the economy's coming roaring back? That still looks kind of bad. PLTR, regular economy, that is. Steel products, etc. PLTR, box breakout, volume was light, but then buyers said, whoops, I'll buy some. It's still going up, no signals. Reddit, box breakout, no volume. So everybody who chased this because there's no volume, well, now you're in a difficult spot. Hopefully you got out and are not losing money, but if the market goes down again, this might violate the top of the box edge and might take this whole move back. Be careful. SE, I'm long this one from back here and here. Sideways box. There's really nothing to look at. That's a rejection of that breakout level. Okay. It got rejected. Now, hopefully, it just goes more sideways. SoFi. I mentioned there were a few bullish signals. This is one. Yellow bar buy signal. Go figure. It does nothing for all this, and now they want it? I do not understand this chart, this stock. But if you love this company, that could be your signal to get long. TMDX still going up. Has not had 2 weeks in a row. Doing great. URI. Yellow bar buy signal. Moves up here. Tries the box breakout. Not quite ready. Bullish. And to think it was bearish down here. Isn't that amazing? Amazing turnaround. This right here was signaling short it. And then it turns around and next thing you know, heck of a turnaround. Oil equipment going higher. There's your signal right here. Same deal. You can have a box break down and then you get a new signal where they're like, not so fast. And now it starts going up. This is how paying attention to the signals and being flexible with your mindset can help you make money. I'd be bearish here, like, oh, it's going down, and then this week happens, and you got to change your viewpoint to being open-minded. Well, these signals are always 50-50, and then when that happens, with the big green volume, you just got to ignore what happened back here. That's old, that's gone. And this is what's new happening, and it's bullish. Things change. All right, so that's the bullish list, not much. The bearish, look at that. Big list over here. And I'm sure you expected to see the big bearish list. So we're going to try and whip through these. They're on here for a reason. Airbnb had this one pink bar last week, but followed up with an inside. Okay. And it'll probably come off this list next week. We'll see what happens. A-Lab, short, plop. If only I had just dealt with it once here, I wouldn't have had nearly as many headaches. But that one's paying off. AMD, big white bar sell signal. We'll see what happens next week. Amazon. Do people not listen when Bezos is selling? Bezos is frickin' one of the smartest guys out there. You don't think he knows when to sell? Give me a break. I know some folks were saying about how great it is and ignoring the news. But trust me, there's people smarter than you and me out there. And look what happened. And this box breakout is void. Null and void because of that. The bros, purple signal, but a lot of volatility. Give it another week. The Kava, I thought this was the greatest thing ever. Pink bar signal followed up with a downside breakdown, downside box breakdown. Yep, that one's probably, if you were long all this time, that would be a valid time to bail. Time to take the money and run. If you bought here at, let's say, 40, take the double. Get out. CEG, I am short this one. I had shorted it here and covered in there because I got spanked a little bit. But here's your evidence why this one was a good pick. Big red, big red. And now, third time the charm, big red. And trust me, I see these signals, and that makes me think bearish. I missed this giant move. I never knew about this stock. I missed the big move, so I'm not angry about it. I had no idea. I only learned about the stock like somewhere around in here. But you can't ignore the evidence when you see it piling up. If you miss it on the upside, maybe you'll make it on the downside. Sell H, I'm short up here. Look how something is really wrong with this company. I don't know what, but I'm bet against it. Costco, pink bar signal, but it didn't really plop down. That to me says it's sort of like Walmart. They're saying, yeah, it's a sell, but it's not quite. If you're long all the way back in here, are you panicking? No. If you bought right here, yeah, you're upset, but that's trading. CPNG, box break down, but volume's low. I thought this company was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Nah. Croxy pulling back. Look at that. It's voided the box breakout. Interesting. Some stocks you might want to look at the monthly view. Yeah, that's a little clearer. More clear. Hit the top of the box and now it's pulling down. Sometimes the monthly explains it better than the weekly. CrowdStrike. Thank you very much for crashing the internet. You deserve everything you get. Dash. Signal here came down. I'm still short this, but this rebound, and look at that green bar. That's telling me this trade might be in trouble, which really pisses me off, but there's nothing I can do. So I got to watch this one, set my alerts, and if I punch out, well, I'll still walk away with something in my pocket. D-Dog, sell signal there. Deckers continues to pull back. Look at that. Did people stop buying shoes? Unbelievable. Dell, box breakdown, but volume is light, but still kind of negative. Look, it all turned in here. This is where you should be skeptical. The bulls in here are just nuts. When it starts signaling, you got to keep your eyes open. ELF, white bar sell signal. Notice how I went to the top of the box, then couldn't do anything, so now it's coming back down. ENPH, solar, still higher than when I was trying to short it. No position. The Fro, first solar coming down. This might signal soon because look at that. No volume, no volume, no volume, no volume. All of a sudden, volume. Keep an eye on first solar. This one, signal here, moved up and blah. No thanks. Pink bar followed by some interesting trading in here. Big volume. One to watch. This one might not be so negative as people think because there's been a lot of action in here and price hasn't really dropped all that much. So keep an eye on this one. Oh, ML. Reading signals sometimes will save you a lot of money. Big pink bar signal, box breakdown, ugh. I bought this way back here, sold a chunk here, and sold the majority of my big position here, here, and the final little tranche here. And now I feel so much better about it in hindsight. The second signal, the first signal I ignored, the second signal I took, second signal I took much more seriously, and boy, was that the right thing to do. Am I smart? Am I brilliant? Well, I'm good at reading the charts. When you make money, the object is to keep the money. Microsoft. Inside bar, resolve downside. We'll see what happens. That's why it's on this list. MU. No real big color signals except right here. But look, big selling. Are you not taking this seriously? And lo and behold, when you should have been selling up here, now you might be puking it out down here. Come on, people, read charts. This is pulling back. Big volume. This was a great trade long, but man, should probably have sold out on this one. Qualcomm. Big signal here, sideways, and now, yep, telling you again that we're not happy with it here. Yeah, our suspicions are more confirmed. Great trade if you took it from here all the way through up to there. Stay out of trouble, buy a double. What else we got here? The shop. Signal looking down, yada yada, you see. SMCI, big signal here. Uh-oh, ruh-roh. Spotify signal working its way down. TKO, failed breakout signal. Whoopsie, no, we don't want to delete that. So you get the gist. I know you get the flavor of this. Upstart, box breakout, and whoops, maybe not so fast. We'll see what happens next week. VST, box breakdown. Look at that. But notice here, CEG. What's the difference between this one and CEG? It's brother and sister. Much bigger selling here on this one. That's how I grade the two. And that's it for the sell list. And everything else I'm looking at is sort of sideways, and I want to show one thing here on S&P 500 earnings. We got the latest level that we closed at Friday. The latest earnings forecast as of the 17th, 3 days ago. And the estimates came down a smidge. right here. And we are still in a high PE environment in bubble territory. Uh-oh. Why are people looking for support levels when we're in potential still bubble territory? The good news, the forward PE is not in bubble territory. It was, but this could go down easily to, let's say, lose another 10% to 5,000. And in this quarter would still be in a bubble valuation, but then the future ones would have dropped. So what's your downside? 5,000? Or would 4,500 be better? Personally, I think 4,500 is a much better, more reasonable level for the S&P 500. Who's ready to drop 1,000 points? Well, if it happens, don't blame me. So that's the latest look. Oh, and the last part of this, index is only 12% reported. So at least it's, we still got a lot more companies to report. And you see here, PE is getting stretched by bubble range. The AI boom began and sent things way higher. Even on the annual table, 25. And we haven't had bubble valuations for a long time. The big one was back here in 2002. So that's your look on the S&P 500 estimates. And now let's wrap with our final stuff with some charts from users. Here we go. Bryce. Broadcom, NVIDIA. Broadcom's split messed up all my boxes, but I was able to redo this one. Sideways, they did this huge split here, 10 for 1. Sideways action right now, NVIDIA. Look at that. Sideways box, threatening to break it, but it hasn't. No color signals anywhere. This is still really strong. But it wouldn't shock me if it comes down here, but then maybe, maybe down in here. I really don't see anything bad with NVIDIA. Who's next? Let's see. Let's close that. Who's next? CCL. I don't like CCL. It's just a hard one. You do have a box breakout here. Whoopsie. Come on. You do have a box breakout here, so it's positive, but monthly, yeah. Are we in the monthly? That's a much tougher. You're just in a mini box within a large regular box on the monthly. And even the quarterly look, does that look super bullish? Oops, wrong. There we go. Does that look super bullish? I'd say you're only trading it just for a couple bucks, to be honest. I hope you make money. LNTH. Huge move here. This is probably what, earnings? But it's been a very hard one to box up on weekly view. So when weekly's hard, to go to monthly. Monthly is a little easier. Look at that. There's a box. It's really tough back in here. Very volatile all in here. But it looks like this latest news has really launched it. Lovely pattern back in here. So that one might be a good one. Put that on your list, people. AER, AEHR. Here's the monthly view. Oof. It was great in here and gave it up a lot of... Something went wrong on this one. We'll see it better here on the weekly. Look how it worked its way higher. And then splat. There's that big signal. But then look at this. When I boxed this up, I noticed it had a box breakout. And I guess they're saying, we're back, baby. So I'm going to put this one back on my list. I wasn't even tracking it. We remove everything. You see, I only use one moving average just for red light, green light. and I code it. If it's below, I code it as red. If it's above, I code it as green. Simple. But there's where the trend changed, and now yellow bar buy signal, things may have changed back. Good trade if you own it. Good pickup. I wasn't even watching it. And I'm going to add this to my lists. What else we got? MMYT. I took a look at this. It's really hard one on the weekly, so I went out to the monthly. Look at that. However, this is a 10-year base. Was I watching this? No. But man, we should have paid attention to that. Look at that. Amazing. I don't even know what this company is. I've never heard of it. How does it look? Oh, this is the quarterly. I got this on the quarterly. Let's look at the monthly. Monthly, still a breakout. Oh, and there we go. There's our signal right there. Boom. If you were a buyer, this one looks great. But I just wasn't paying attention. CLS. Oop, I don't even know what CLS is. Oh, that looks good to me. Pink bar signal though, pay attention. I guess you could call this here. So a failed breakout right now. The rest is too difficult to box up at the moment. But what else we got? Oh, I don't even know these. LMT we did. Coin we did. Mara. Okay, I got to tell you, I don't like Mara at all. I don't know why people like it. On the weekly here, huge box, nothing going on. It's been rejected twice here and here. So it's probably going to get rejected a third time unless something changes. Monthly, I don't have anything drawn in the monthly. But if I was, it would be something like that. Is that super bullish? I'd avoid it. How about the newer ones like cores or whatever? What else we got here? Coin we did. SLV. Okay. It's an uptrend. You had yellow bars here. Big box breakout. A lot of signals, but now going sideways. Commodity stuff is so hard. So right now you got sideways action. Anything in the monthly? Yep, monthly you had a signal as well around the same time of that box breakout. Going up, but again, sideways. It's bullish, but not easy. What else we got? VRDN, a CAD, RO. Oh, I have no idea what these are. Ugh. That's a monthly view. Ugh. Come on, man. Find something better. Let's look at this on the monthly. There's nothing going on here. Very difficult. What's the next one? Acadia. Monthly. Ugh. Nothing happening. Nothing. Why are you wasting your time on these? Biotech is a wasteland. I hate biotech. ROIV. Did I get that right? Yeah. Well, I guess this could be in the monthly sideways. Okay, that's kind of valid. Yeah, there's that sideways range on the weekly also. Well, I guess wait for this one to punch out of it. If it punches out, put your alert at 12. If it goes higher than 12, buy it. But it might take another year. It might take months and months. What else we got? Oxy. Are we on the monthly? Yep, we're on the monthly. Look at that huge sideways. Oh, how would we put this? Probably something like that. Isn't Buffett buying Oxy or something? So this one, put your alert here at 72. Put it 72. Goes above 72, buy it. Ugh, what a mess. But this is just a giant consolidation, multi-year consolidation. If it goes, it'll probably go a lot higher. TLT we did, SQ. Does that say sideways action to you? It says it to me. Anything on the weekly? The only on the weekly is a bearish bar. I don't see anything going on with Square. Dorsey's got nothing. I don't use Cash App. I don't know what it is. But yeah, sideways, nothing. Nothing burger. 4. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Ugh, just a mess. But sideways. It got rejected here, so it's probably not going above 75 bucks anytime soon. But here's your range, and they probably are saying below 55. Nah, that's too cheap. So there's your range, 55 to 75. Set your alert for 75. Anything else? Max N. Max N. I don't know what the... Oh, come on. No, 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 no. Why are you bothering this? Come on, man. Put a crying Jordan on this one. TXN. Sideways. You can see I don't really follow these ones. But sideways maybe coming out. And it's got a bearish shooter on the weekly. But, whoops. But the monthly tells a story. Sideways since 2021. Don't waste your time, baby. You got better things to do. These are a lot. Oh, more biotechs. TGTX. Ugh, nothing's going on here. VKTX. Yep, you're all bullish here, and all it does is pull back and sell off. But a beautiful breakout, but you got to sell these things. Mara. Oh, Mara again. Stop. Retail loves Mara. Boyle. Does this have the dancing Nigerians carrying the coffin guys? That's what this is. The dancing Nigerians. Am I still in SE? Yep. Am I still in STAA? Nope. STAA may get bought too. They've had some drama. But no, I bought it here, I sold it here, I bought it here, sold it here, and then look at this washing machine. Man, I don't know. But nope, I do not have this. And if it gets bought by a bigger company, that'll just be a horrible indictment of how management took this wonderful opportunity and blew it. Which, no offense, happens all the time. Apple, we've done that. VIX, yeah, we talked about the VIX. RDW. I have no idea what this company is. Never heard of it. Probably here. Probably be. I think I would do that. So it's building towards something, but it's got a little ahead of itself. Let's see anything here on the weekly. This one might be a good choice. I'll put this on the watching list. So it looks like that is it for the weekend review. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you, if you're put a stock symbol in the comments, I hope you get something out of it, and look forward to next week. We will see what happens with all the shooter bars, and otherwise have a great trading week. Talk to you later. Bye bye.